Okay, I'm holding this because I was like, I don't want to go through the trouble of taking out a whole tripod for this, but documentaries. I keep seeing people talk about the freaking Shane Dawson documentary, and I just hate, I don't understand the appeal in the freaking documentaries. Okay, so I watched the Jake Paul one. The Jake Paul one, right? I don't know how many parts there was to that. I think it was like 5 or something. And like, the whole thing could have been told in like one part, 1 hour. It didn't take that long. You didn't learn anything. It wasn't anything deep. He didn't go into some crazy research. He was just like, oh, psychology says this is what a sociopath is like. And then he was like, oh, I have this handy dandy therapist here, and she's gonna pretend to be my camera person or support person or whatever. And then they're gonna diagnose him secretly. Shh, don't tell anyone. So like, I was like, okay, cool. But then he goes out, he like goes to the house, talks about the parents, talks about the competitiveness between him and his brother, and his relationships, and people taking advantage of him and everything. And they like vlog some, and they're like going on the freaking, they're like four-wheeling and shit. And I'm like, okay, like that whole thing could have been done in like 1 episode, in 1 hour. Y'all are just so thirsty for anything that says documentary. Like, his stuff isn't that entertaining. And like the whole, there's 9 parts to the whole, the Jeffree Star one. And like, to me, I still really think it's a big ad, because in the trailer, like, everyone was like, oh, there's drama in the trailer, so excited for that. And then it's like 6 parts in, and not an ounce, not a lick, one single lick of drama has been in there. And so then he was like, oh guys, I'm gonna cancel the series. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, the one thing people are riding on and hoping for, you're taking out. That's fake. A big ad, one whole ad for that whole freaking palette. And it was so, it's dumb. And then like, people were like, hey, don't do that. We want what you promised us, basically. And like, yeah, like, yes, he should give the drama. Like, I mean, the one thing I would watch is the drama, and each of these things are like an hour long, and there's 6 parts. That's like 6 hours. That's 6 hours, y'all, for no drama. Like, you know you're gonna watch through it all. I would watch through it all to be like, oh yes, just that. Even if it's like a minute of the intensity of the drama, I need to know. I want to see it. And he didn't give it to anyone. Fortunately, I have not watched a lick of any of those. I haven't watched a cent, a minute, a second of any other documentary except the Jake Paul one. So I am not scammed and lied to, but y'all are just so thirsty for anything that says documentary, because like, I know people are like, oh, I'm watching this documentary on Netflix. Like, okay, but like, are you watching it because it's like, ooh, it's a documentary and I feel like I'm learning something? Or are you just watching it because it says documentary and you feel like that's a weird, pristine thing to watch, even though you're not learning or being told anything new? Because that's the whole appeal. I feel like that's the whole appeal of the whole Shane Dawson documentary series. Because I'm like, one, they're not interesting. They're really not that interesting. It's not that good, y'all. It's not that deep. And I know the demographic is younger people, but like, come on. I think I'm pretty easy to advertise to and make me watch things. I mean, I don't fall for clickbait, but I'm like, oh, you know, if your title's even good, I'm gonna watch this. Or if your thumbnail's nice, I'm watching this. Even if it's not even remotely interesting, if it's like, oh, this is something I know, I'll probably watch it. So I could have watched this. There's no realm in which I wouldn't have, aside from just the weird disliking I have for Shane Dawson in general. But y'all are just so thirsty for documentaries. Y'all aren't learning. And tell me one thing you actually learned from 6 hours of this video, other than like, oh, Jeffree Star's talking as if he's talking to me, or Shane's talking as if he's talking to me, and I feel like we're BFF buddies and they're letting me in on a cute little hush-hush secret about the beauty community. Wow, I could actually run a makeup company. That sounds so fun. Like, you're not learning anything. You're not doing, like, this isn't some, if it could have been like a behind the scenes thing, there could have been like one, again, less than an hour probably. Oh, if it was just a whole behind the scenes thing, I feel like it was just such big rev up to selling a palette, and it's just so dumb. Y'all are just so thirsty for documentaries, and it's not documentaries. They're not really documentary series. They're just long videos of him talking to people. And like, if that's a documentary, then yeah, sure, I guess. But that's not, there's nothing educational about these. There's nothing really interesting about them, and there's no reason they should be this long. I've seen more fulfilling and thorough, informative documentaries in like an hour and a half on YouTube, on Netflix, on the History Channel, that were more fulfilling in every aspect than this. And I know he's just a little small-time creator, except for the fact that he actually has like a whole crew and everything. So like, he's not even doing, like that's the thing about the Jake Paul one too. He didn't even do anything. He just walked and talked to the guy. He didn't record this, and like, I think he edits them, but I think he has the video editor who is the cameraman. So I'm like, you know, like, what did he do? He just walks and talks to these people. He doesn't do anything like remotely captivating. So I'm like, I don't get what the whole appeal is behind all these things. I just spit everywhere, my bad. But come on. Come on. Like, is it really that good? Are they really worth 6 hours of watching? Did you actually learn anything? Did you get anything out of it? I don't think so. Anyways, bye, I guess. I don't really have anything else to say about it, because either way, no one's gonna like this opinion, but I don't care. I don't care, because like, y'all just really want to sound cool and woke and be like, oh, I'm watching a documentary. And we're like those people that everyone makes fun of at Starbucks who just are just extra and weird with the scarves and their coffee and their laptop MacBook just typing away at God knows what. No, just stop. They're not that good. They're not that good. They're really not.